Well, hello there. My name is Michelina Friss. We are on the campus of Roberts Wesleyan College for this episode of the Coach's Corner Show. I have Mr. Rocky Delfino here today with me. He is the head of the Redhawks men's lacrosse program. Mr. Delfino, thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. So I'm just going to dive right in. Tell us a little bit about about yourself, like your coaching history. Were you a former lacrosse player? And how did you get to be here at Roberts? What's your history?
Well, my history is old. I mean, I've been coaching now for 37 years.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. But I still love it. I still have the passion for it. I've coached at the high school level, and before I came here, I was at Monroe Community College.
Okay.
The head men's lacrosse coach there, and I just saw the ad they posted, and at the time Mike Farrell was the AD, and I just gave him a call, and I said, what is it going to be like to have 4 years, kids for 4 years instead of just two?
Mm-hmm.
So, I inquired about it, and I came in, and, we talked, and, they offered me the job, and I said, let me do it.
It's kind of nice when
it's been 8 years, and I'm still here, and they allow me to still coach here, so I'm happy about that.
Very nice, very nice. So a little bit of an interesting fact about you. You have a little bit of just an interesting situation because currently you're coaching your son, who is Rocky Jr.
Right.
What is that like?
It is probably the greatest experience of my life.
Really?
I don't know if he feels the same way about that.
We'd have to ask
him. But yeah, tomorrow's senior day, and he's going to be done. And it's sad for me, but it's nice. He's been a 2-year captain, and he's pretty maintenance free. I mean, he works hard. He doesn't look for special things from the coaching staff or anything, and he's a good leader. But it's been a great experience for me. And my daughter, who is now the head women's lacrosse coach at MCC, so it's kind of a family affair. So it's been great. So I really truly enjoyed it, and it's been a pleasure for me to be able to do that.
Because you're kind of wearing two hats with your son, of course. You're his coach, and then also you're his father. So it's like you're seeing your son grow up and go all these changes. But then at the same time, you're like, I have to coach him. I'm the coach.
It's I don't coach his position. I kind of oversee things, but we still have a lot of interaction, and and it's probably tough on him being the coach's kid. I'm sure he gets asked a lot of questions, and he's got to run the straight course, and he can't get in trouble, and knock on wood, he hasn't. But he's been a great advocate for us and for our program, and Roberts has been a great fit for him. The smaller size schools, he's doing well academically, and it's been a pleasure and honor for me, and I'm glad that the situation at Roberts allowed me to do that. So it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great.
That's really cool because it can be a precarious situation, but it sounds like that, that was a privilege for you to do that.
I've seen it work in the other direction a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen with a lot of coaches and their kids, and they take it home with them, but we never discuss it. We never, it's just, I'm his father when we're not on the field, and I'm his coach when we're on the field. So it's worked out great.
That's cool.
But again, I hope he feels the same.
Good. I'm sure he does.
Okay,
I'm sure he does.
Thanks.
He stuck around. He's
that's
still
right.
here. So.
I didn't run him off, so that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about some firsts that happened with this season because you guys had some pretty cool things happen. So you guys, just the other day, you clinched a playoff spot for the first time in the program's history. And then back on April 6th versus St. Thomas Aquinas, you guys had your first ECC shutout in program history.
Yep.
So what were those two special moments like for you? What do you think led up to those?
A shutout in lacrosse is pretty huge.
Yeah.
And we were excited for the kids. I mean, the kids played really well, and that was great. And of course, qualifying for the playoffs has been a goal. And this group really saw it as a feasible goal. And also, the most wins we've ever had was 6, so we're at 7 right now, so that's another goal that we've met. So yeah, this year's a lot of milestones, and it's just like, we're starting to get the word out. People are starting to know that, Roberts has lacrosse. They're starting to see what a great academic, value this is here. The smaller size, the smaller classes, and it's just, it's a nice fit. And again, it worked out for a lot of my players. I mean, they become with the character and the values that is, put into the academic program and the school community program. I mean, even though if they're not looking for it, it's been sneaking in on them.
Sure.
So people have been noticed, like they go home and their parents say, "Wow, he's he's a little more mature.
A little different than the kid
different,
I dropped
yeah.
off.
So, and the coaches are telling me the same thing when they go back. They're giving them the free time. So the school just has a positive effect on me. It had a positive effect on me. That's why I came. So I think it's doing the same for our kids and for our program. So it's great. Yeah, but we've reached a lot of milestones this year, and I'm excited. And hopefully we can. We've been beating teams that we have never beaten before. We never beat Lake Erie. We never beat Malloy, who we beat last weekend. And we've never beaten NYT, who we play this weekend.
Nice.
And they've beaten us up pretty good a couple times, so we're kind of excited to get an opportunity and a chance to do that.
Sure. I'll be waiting to hear about that win.
Thank you.
So you've already kind of hit on it a little bit, but when you're graduating some players this year, one of them being your son, like
Yep.
you already mentioned, what is something that you hope as the head coach that 10, 15 years down the road when they're sitting around with whoever and they say, I used to play lacrosse at Roberts Wesleyan College, this is what I remember about that time. This is what my coaches instilled into me. This is what that school and that program has to offer. What are some of the things that you would hope that they would say?
I hope it would just reflect on the way they become men in life. We say something after every huddle. We say "BAM," and what "BAM" means is be a man, and we instill that in them. And I just hope when they leave here, all those things we've learned and develop on them. We talk about a program, and you got to buy into the program. And a lot of it is just, if the wins and losses are great, they're stats, okay. But they're not going to really remember that. What they're going to remember is a positive experience, and hopefully they become great role models, great family men, parents, husbands, and give back to the community in a positive way. That's what I'm really worried about, that piece of it. Like I said, I've been doing this for so long now. I want them just to have that total positive experience, not just on the athletic field. Get good careers, get the job, a career that they wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you come to college, get that career that you want. So like you and me, it's not work. Mm-hmm. I don't go to work. I get to wear shorts and blow a whistle. What kid doesn't want to do that when they grow up? So
definitely.
That's helped us out a lot.
Very nice.
And that's what I want the kids to remember, their total experience.
Very nice. It's very similar to what the head men's coach, Mark Salad, just said. He was like, 10, 15 years down the line or whenever, they're not going to remember every win and every loss. Those things are going to fade away, but I want to instill in them hard work. I want to instill in them discipline. I want them to be able to be, good husbands, good, a good employee, whatever position they find themselves in, I want to instill those values in them.
Yeah, because every old player, every year they get older, they get better. 10 years from now, maybe they only scored 20 goals, but they're going to be telling people, oh, I scored 35 goals. But, that stuff is always going to be there. But like I said, the biggest thing is, what do you do? How do you react? And was that, like athletics shaped me, and hopefully that's what I want them to do. I want it to be something that shaped them for their lives, and they can pass it on in their careers and to their families and to whatever they do, and some of our great leaders were athletes. And, so I tell them that, and I said, you guys are at an advantage. You've got discipline kind of burned and instilled in you. Use that for your own good.
Absolutely.
So hopefully that happens.
Yeah, I think if you do that, I think you've won and you've done your job as a coach.
I hope so.
So yeah. So it is always a tradition here on these Coaches Corners that we do that I have to end with a couple trivia questions.
Sure, okay.
And then you're going to be good to go.
Okay.
So this is a two-part question, but the first one I don't think is going to be that bad. So how long have you been coaching? What was your first season here coaching?
Season here?
Yes.
2012.
12, right. Okay. Do you remember, can you tell me what your final record was of your first season?
Maybe 4-9.
Close. You want to take a second guess? You're close. I'll give you it was 4 wins. Yes.
Maybe only 8.
One more down.
7.
4-7.
Okay.
Which I was kind of surprised because it's not a lot of games. Maybe because the program was just starting.
Yeah,
out.
we weren't fully Division II that year.
Okay, and that
so
too.
we had to scatter and get some Division III programs and Division II programs. So that's what we scattered.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha. So
fair
not bad. So that was your first season, and now you look in 2019, you're going to the playoffs. So pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Second question. There have been 3 games this season where you guys have scored the same amount of goals. First of all, can you tell me what the amount was? How many goals you scored?
Oh my God. Man, I'm glad this ain't Jeopardy or something.
This would be kind of hard, but
It's kind of
that's
hard.
why
We
I
scored the
picked
same
it.
amount of goals 3 times.
In 3 separate games, the same amount of goals. I'll give you a hint.
13?
Yes. I was going to say you won every game. Bonus question. Can you tell me what the scores were?
13-12 was one of them. 13-5 was another one.
Yes.
And I don't know, 13-7 maybe?
It was actually 13-12 for 2 of them, and then
Really?
13-5. So it was 420 versus Malloy. That was a 13-5.
Yeah.
Then on April 9th versus Lake Erie, that was
That's
a 13-12. And then back on February 16 versus Adderson Broadius
Oh, okay,
down in
yeah,
West
yeah,
Virginia,
yeah.
it was 13-12.
That was a long time ago. That's
That
the
was
first game.
I know that was a long
I
time
have
ago.
time remembering what I ate for lunch.
I know.
So
So you got like 2 out of 3. You're right
Okay,
there.
good.
Okay. Last question, then you're done. Okay.
Okay.
This is a really hard one. Will you be winning your playoff game next week?
yes.
Yes. 3 for 3. You're good. Mr. Delfino, thank
Hey,
you for hanging
thank
out
you.
with me
It
today.
was Carefree, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Look forward to the next Coach's Corner here on the Redhawks Coach's Corner.